Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hublot. I was here with Marcus and we were filming watches, and my friend here, Julien Tornare, the CEO. Hi, Julien.
Andrew, so nice to see you.
He got wind that we were in the building, and this strange offer came to me through various people. Would you like to ask me any questions? And we caught up in the hallway and you said, any questions?
Of course.
So I put together a list of what I think are the questions that you most want to know from this brand. The good, the bad, and the haters. So Julien, you've offered to be here. Mm-hmm. Are you ready to dive in?
Always, you know me.
Why is Hublot hated?
Because Hublot is so different from all the other brands. You know, it's very easy to hate Hublot. You cannot hate some brands that are very similar to each other because you would hate 10 brands at once. Hublot is disruptive, is different, is questioning people why you do this, why you do that. So it's quite normal. And I fully agree with this. You can like, you can dislike, but you have to understand at least why you dislike.
There are some good reasons that Hublot's hated, I think. I'll give you one.
Yeah, please.
Okay. When the brand launched, it had the audacity to charge tens of thousands for e-Bosch movements. That's the one that when people say, that's hateable, I say, I agree. But I also just think that was a great marketing genius move. Sure. So there's a story around it, but it's indefensible. Is there a good reason Hublot is hated for you?
No, I would say, Hublot started, and let's not forget that Hublot is only 45 years of age, compared to many of the competitors of the industry that are accumulating centuries of history, of heritage, of know-how. Mm-hmm. So Hublot, within 45 years of existence, did an amazing job. And of course, there was a beginning, and there's been a catch-up in terms of watchmaking. And people don't always realize, and certainly don't give credit to the amazing Mekaten and to the amazing Unico movement that we have today in our collection. So we can discuss about the original watch, but today I can tell you from a purist point of view, because I worked for Vacheron many years, Zenith, that are very purist-oriented, as you know, and the watchmaking know-how and substance that we have at Hublot is amazing. Mm-hmm. So now we're talking about today.
Okay. Do you care when you see that there's this movement of people, or there was? I feel that we're moving out of this phase because what's happening is it's slowly being broken down. And yes, as you know, I've been a part of that breakdown because I just thought it was unfair. This was just a broad stroke by people who know nothing about watches, who knew nothing about, who couldn't actually come up with a real reason. I can come up with a real reason, and I gave it early, which is that was something that still lingers for the brand. This sense that it's overpriced, that you're not getting anything near a luxury product with a Hublot watch. Knowing that a lot of the hate comes from people that don't appreciate those things, why do you care? Because it seems you've been jumping in the comments, you've been out there since you've become CEO. Mm-hmm. Why do you care about changing these people's minds?
Again, I don't really want to change people's minds because there are so many watch brands. Hublot is one of them. And of course, you can like or dislike, you can love or hate. That's fine, as long as you know why you do it. Mm-hmm. And Hublot is something misunderstood or doesn't really get the credit that it should get. And that's my point. I want people to understand. So that's why I'm inviting people, some of the people who don't like us, I say, come and visit. I invite you for lunch and I will show you what Hublot is all about. Because even myself, I joined Hublot a year ago and I knew the brand quite well. But now that I'm in the brand, I can tell you it's an amazing brand. And also on the watchmaking perspective. So when you buy Hublot, obviously you buy a watchmaker, you buy great watches, but you buy also all the coolness and all the emotion that this brand is going to give you. And that's what I want people also to find out, the rational and the emotional side of the brand. And people often know only the emotional.
If you don't know Julien Tornare, CEO, I'm going to give you a quick recap. Vacheron, Zenith, where you made an excellent decision to do a collaboration with Time+Tide. These are two of the great watchmaking powerhouses when it comes to that purist technical side. Tell me about what did surprise you, because I know that you wanted this job badly. You actually told me some years ago that this would be a dream of yours to work here. Yeah. What have you learned that's given you even more of an understanding of the brand?
I learned so much on the brand, of course, over the last year, but before as well. It's the first time I'm working for a brand that's actually younger than me. Hublot is only 45 years old. With Vacheron and Zenith, I literally had no chance to be older than those brands. These brands are systematically, like many brands, leaning on their past, on the heritage, which is great. But if you think about it, those brands, they don't dare often to get out of their path, because how would I move away from my DNA? How can I shake the heritage I'm coming from? It's very difficult. Hublot is great because it's very young. 45 years, we can do whatever we want. And those brands with long heritage, back in the days, I'm telling you, they were breaking the rules. They were doing things out of their path. They were thinking out of the box, like Hublot is doing today. So Hublot is very much a brand that's turned to the future, that's building the future of watchmaking and daring to do things. I remember back in my days in more traditional watch brands, I was thinking, oh my God, look what Hublot is doing, whether on the displays with the Raptor or with a special event or with a new watch in a new material. I was like, Jesus, only Hublot can do that. The other brands could not. And that's why I like this brand a lot.
I remember these days. I was watching on from Australia, and Jean-Claude Biver he just took Swiss watchmaking to this Hollywood place, to like the Madison Square Garden NBA game. There were big lights, there were big personalities. It was just this brand power that I'd never seen in the Swiss watchmaking industry. And that made me just see this brand as this towering thing. And at that point, I didn't give a about the movement. I didn't care. I just wanted one.
No, but let's be clear. The brand started being an incredible shaker of a very conservative industry by bringing super innovative, disruptive marketing in all different ways. We often talk about football, soccer, because we entered a sport that was not supposed to be linked to luxury.
Boxing, cricket.
Etc., etc. So many great initiatives. Plus, of course, innovation and creativity, new materials, new developments, all the MPs. You know, Hublot, of course, over the years built its watchmaking expertise. And I can tell you that today we have it, but I'm going to bring it to the next level.
Now we get into the questions. What a perfect segue, Julien. This is a real question, how much of your movements are truly in-house versus modified or outsourced, and how will that change under your watch?
We are now, a majority of our movements are using our own Unico for the chronograph or the Mecha 10. Okay, we still use a few external movements, yes, and that will be replaced very soon under my leadership. You can count on me. We should be 100% manufacture movement, which means high-end quality movement, whether it's internal or like we use the El Primero movement from Zenith, which is a great movement in our spirit of Big Bang. And it's been an advantage. It's been a plus because we all know the El Primero is definitely the best chronograph of our industry. So we are proud to use it, no problem. What we want is to only use these kind of high-end movements, mostly in-house, but also some like the El Primero because it has its own advantages as well in some of our products. So my objective is to go from, we still have, let's say 25, 30%, 40%, depends on the product line, using external, to a fully manufactured movement so that never anybody can say any bad comment on our movements because it's unfair, it's not true.
I thought an easy win, if we're going straight into it, was replacing the Solita movements with Zenith Elite movements. Yeah. Again, bringing your old house back into it. And I couldn't get an answer as to why that wasn't possible. Is that what will you do with the three-handers? All of those.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. What we want to do is to use a very high-end, again, manufacturer quality three hands. We also want to develop our own. So I have big plans for the future, of course. It takes time, so we take the time. But right now, I'm going to fix the fact that we're only going to use this top quality movement. So the watchmaking side is not a discussion anymore. Okay. That's point number one. Point number two could be one. Yeah, it could be one of the possibility, but not the only one. And what I can tell you is that it's going to reinforce the watchmaking foundation of our brand, next to the other ones. Then the two engines that made the brand so strong, creativity, innovation, and innovation into marketing and disruptive marketing will be reboosted like never before. So you will basically get the best in terms of product, next to all the emotion that you have to have when you become a client, when you become part of the community, Hublotista, not to name it, which is a great community of big fans. I'm going to join some of them tonight in Monaco, and I was with other ones last week in Paris. And that's a great also way to give people more than just a product.
Right. The reason I know about the Zenith Elite movement is it's in my first Defy Classic Night Surfer.
Yeah.
So I can vouch for that movement. Next question. How do you justify Hublot's price points relative to the technical content and finishing you provide?
I think we have the right price. You know, you can see, I'm not going to mention other brands that have big names, very famous, that are also using more industrial than manufacture movement to some extent, and that are in similar price range. So I think you have to take it as a global thing. You have to take it as the creativity, the innovation of the product. You know, creating new materials is sometimes much more costly than using a manufacture movement because it requires a lot of research and development. Down our feet here, we are basically making our own sapphire, as you could visit, you know. So this is we are the only one to be able to do it in-house. The ceramic, we have patent on so many things. So at the end of the day, the product itself, it's not only the movement, it's the global cost of it. And Hublot, believe me, there is so much knowledge, and we are the only ones to make so many things that at the end, it's totally justifying the price.
There's some finishing on this Mecha 10 that really caught my eye that I hadn't seen before, which had some hand finishing elements. Do you want to point them out?
But that's also an important thing we are taking into consideration in the new Mecha 10 on the 42 millimeters. We have been giving much more attention on the finishing, as you said, by hand, looking at every single details. And I'm doing exactly the same on the Unico. So you can expect the level of finishing to go to the highest level of what we can do in watchmaking. Yeah. And that's my objective, because finishing is also part of the feel that you get, of the perception that you have on your own watch. And for me, these little details are making a big difference. We did everything really careful, the bridges, the wheels, the ruby that we have, everything, the little stones. We really took a big attention to make it the level of high watchmaking, I would say. And that's a new direction that we are also moving into at Hublot, yeah.
Because there's a mirror polished angle on these bridges that really catches your eye. I'd never seen anything like that on Hublot. Next tough question. You've launched many limited editions. Are you diluting the brand?
I don't think so. I think Hublot business model is about partnership, collaboration, and we like to make limited edition. Now, did we do too many or not? It's a question that many people can have a different opinion. I don't think so. I have now more and more demand on our current core collection. So in terms of capacity also, we will concentrate more on the core collection. And we will make limited edition or special edition only when there is a real meaning behind it. You know, it's not just a country edition or a retailer edition here or there. It's going to be for a particular concept. Let's put it this way. Some of our ambassadors, like Djokovic, we did the limited edition last year. It was great. There was a concept, there was a story, there was a new material, there was the lightness of the brand. Absolutely amazing product. It worked like crazy. Kylian Mbappé, we have never done a watch. Will we do a watch with him one day? I hope so. We should, etc., etc. It has to have a purpose, a meaning. It has to be done in a right way and not an opportunistic way. And I think today, in the global watch industry, there are too many limited editions. So each brand has to be a bit careful, and we will pay attention to that. Yeah.
Materials and innovations. Yeah. Not everything works. And I think some of the fusion has not been good.
Which one, for example?
I don't like the magic gold.
Okay.
I don't like the tone of it.
It's a color. Yeah.
It's a color. It's sort of a... it is... It is a color. It's a brownie gold. And while I think it's a cool story to get out a knife and say, I can't scratch this, that's it. I just wonder, have there been any of the material innovations that haven't worked as well? Because obviously there's a lot that have, and we know a lot about sapphire. We know a lot about ceramic. But, you know, do you have a box of failed experiments and have some of them reach into production?
Yes, we have. We are lucky to have someone like Matthias Butet that you know with his team, and they have a real treasure down our feet right now, and they're right now working on new projects. So yes, there are materials that we decided not to go for, that were not qualitative enough or resistant enough, but we keep on working. And again, I can tell you, I mean, sapphire, ceramic color, now we have done bicolor ceramic, and we have projects to do a lot more on that aspect because you can get amazing design with this. Just to tease you a bit, I'm working right now on what could be, with those guys, what could be the softest watch in the world in terms of, not that you can bend it, but when you touch it, it's going to be almost silk. And you will have never seen such material, but you will put it on your wrist. It's absolutely amazing. Men, women, everybody will love it. I don't know yet. We're working on resistance. We're working on things, but the day it comes out, it's going to be absolutely amazing, and it will come out. No, you cannot see, you cannot hear more, you can do whatever you want. I won't tell you more, but it could be an absolutely amazing new material to be launched. So there are plenty of things in the pipe. Yeah.
It's funny you say that about ergonomics, because often people think that they eat with their eyes with watches. They see the finishing through, but they can't. Whereas you seem to have a bit of a kink for the way the watch feels, the way the watch can be reinvented through touch.
There are 5 senses, and I think, man, by the way, we made a watch that had a perfume back in the days, and the rubber strap had some perfumes. It was a fun concept. We're not going back there, but when you look at the watch, obviously you look at it, you like it. Sometimes you like the noise when you rewind it. But for me, the ergonomy is probably one of the most important. And it's not only when you have it on your wrist. It's already when a watch is in its display and you grab it, you take it like this. There are watches from many brands that are so nice to have in hand and on your wrist, and some that they are a bit aggressive, they are not so comfortable, etc. It's like when you buy a car. If you enter in the driver's seat and you don't feel good, I bet you're never going to buy the car, because this is where you sit. And I think we don't pay sometimes, and when I say we, I'm talking watches in general, attention to that kind of detail. So there are watches that you grab and you feel it's amazing, and I want to go more and more into that. The feeling that you have with your watch is very important.
And it's true, some watches have very sharp angles and beautiful reflective surfaces, but that's at the expense of how comfortable they are. So some brands are making a decision between that real shiny and reflective versus how it feels on the wrist. How do you rebuild the Hublotista community? And do you think is it starting? Has it started? Do you feel that there's still some green shoots that you can build? And what do you see? What is your dream for the community?
There's still a big community, and people have big expectations, and that's something I noticed, and I knew, but I noticed from day one. Back in the day, Jean-Claude Biver was sending some cheese, was inviting people to his own place, was getting to meet the clients, and that's what they want. As a CEO, I think it's my responsibility when I travel. Obviously, I'm going to see the retailers, I'm going to see the press, I'm going to spend time with you, I'm going to meet the landlord if I need to negotiate a new space for a boutique. But every single trip, I'm meeting end clients wherever I go. It's a commitment I give to myself to do it every trip, because that's the community. That's one way, of course. I cannot see everyone. But beyond this, we are going to launch concept where those people can get together and have a great experience. Whether it's to go to watch a football match, a tennis match, to get to meet Djokovic, or to enjoy Alan Roura when he was doing the sailing. When they like art, they love to come to meet the artist, okay? Murakami, of course, and Arsham and all these guys. But it's also to spend time together, because they buy the watch also to be part of that community. So what I'm doing is, for example, a summer and winter tour. We're going to do it in such a concept. And here also, it's a little bit of a teasing, but in such a concept, winter, summer, that people that are part of the community, member of Hublotista, not only they get extra warranty years, not only they receive newsletters, they will live a very special moment. And that's the reason why also people want to be part of Hublot. It's far beyond. We both know you don't need a watch. So, okay, you like the product, but what's beyond the product? And that's where I'm going to reinforce and invest a lot to get our clients into this Hublotista vibes. Yeah.
You just pointed to this celebrity war.
Sure.
Do you worry that Hublot leans too hard on the celebrity ambassadors? And people know how much that costs to have these people involved in the brand. Do you feel that this is the balance right at the moment in terms of how much you put these people forward versus the actual watches?
Yes, I think it's a pretty good balance. Now, do we have too many? Maybe. Do we need to make choices? Certainly. But I still believe that those faces are representing also the brand philosophy and representing what Hublot is all about. So it's about awareness, first of all. It's about desirability. And it's about people dreaming, dreaming about those superstars that we all like. And I think that's part of it. I mean, we're not the only brand to have ambassadors. I think it's part of the magic of the emotion that you create around it. The only thing is, it has to be meaningful. I don't want to go for the typical red carpet effect, where you just put some celebrities in an evening, in a party, and people will come. I want them to be meaningful. That's why we need to make a watch. We need to think about what are the connections between the ambassador and the brand to make it authentic. And that's what people are looking for, our clients.
If there was a single idea or a vision that you had for Hublot that you wanted to bring that hadn't been done before.
Yeah.
Because I've met you for many years and I've never seen you so fired up. It's the energy coming off this guy is just, I'm getting a tan here.
So I'm a happy man.
You're a happy man. But what was it when you sat down with that recruitment team and said, I want the job? What is the idea that's Julien's idea for Hublot?
Very clearly.
That hadn't been done by the others?
Yeah, of course. There's been a lot done by the others. And I take the time to say hi to Mr. Croco, Mr. Biver, Ricardo, all great people that I know and I like very well. My idea is really to bring the brand into the long term as a top key player of high watchmaking, which will anyway be very different from the other players. And I had a talk with some of my colleagues running the top brands in the industry, but classic ones. They all agree that Hublot has a position to occupy there. We're never going to be 200 years old. We're never going to be classic. We're never going to be on that side. But we can be a high watchmaking brand, considered as a top watchmaker, but in the disruptive way, in the fun way. Recently I told some of my staff, I said, if someone is organizing a boring event at Hublot, this person should not be part of the team anymore. Because this is totally the opposite. There is often a mistake done in our luxury industry is that wealthy people that like to acquire luxury product, they want to be quiet. They want to eat only amazing food and all that. It's not like that. People want to have fun. People want to have fun. And Hublot is a brand that will offer a very casual, fun, interesting, high-end, but cool atmosphere. And people love it. I have a very clear roadmap. This year, it was the 20th anniversary of the Big Bang. So we have been celebrating the Big Bang. Okay, it's been all about that. Next year is going to be a big year, and you will see here a lot of new products. I'm not going to give you much information, but what's going on with the long-term establishment of the Big Bang collection. Classic Fusion. I think Classic Fusion, there is a lot to be done on that, and you will see me going back to some roots of the brand in a very, very cool way. MP will come strongly with new ideas, new development, new things. And you can expect different very cool surprises next year. But to position the brand where I want to position, the peak and the highlight of it will be 2030. 2030 will be the 50th anniversary of the brand. And I will tell you that in 2030, we will come with something so unique that it will make everyone reconsider the time measurement and what time means to our society, to the populations in the past and in the future. We will make a real statement, a real revolution for our 50th anniversary. It's a long project. You can imagine that it's happening right here under our feet, which will really help to position Hublot where it should be for the long term. That's my objective. I want Hublot to be recognized as a high-end watchmaking, but on the innovative, disruptive, cool side and fun side.
Crystal clear. And when you say Hublot's 45 years old, it really isn't. It's really only 25. I mean, it did begin, but it was a tiny brand. The first version of the brand, it was not even a blip on the Swiss radar, but certainly it became a big explosion 25 years ago.
Obviously, Big Bang was for me the first iconic brand of the 21st century. And within 20 years, the success of the brand was absolutely stunning. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that obviously brings some jealousy, as always. When you are too quick, too strong, and here I give full credit to my predecessors because they've done the job, people are like, how come they did that in 20 years? Respect.
Okay. Last question. I feel like you're ready for this. I feel like you've been working up for this. I want you to talk straight down the camera.
Yes.
And I want you to tell the person on the other side of that lens who Hublot is for and why they should re-experience the brand.
First of all, I'm very happy to have this opportunity, so thank you, Andrew. As you can see, sometimes I'm answering myself on social media. My team tells me I should not because they are specialists for that, but I still do it. And I love that because it's interaction with clients, and that's what I like. Hublot is an incredible brand. Again, in terms of watchmaking, I found out Hublot's expertise is really amazing, and I'm super proud to be running this brand, but I'm going to bring it to the next level. You can trust me. Next to that, of course, innovation, creativity. We have to continue to be a bit crazy, to be different from the other one, to bring new things to the watch industry. And of course, marketing is here to give you as much emotion as possible. And you want to buy a watch? Yes, buy many watches. There's so many beautiful brands. But at Hublot, what you're going to get is you're going to be part of a community in which you're going to have great fun. Today, the world is not always great to look at. It's not always fun. But at Hublot, we give you this special moment. And that's what I'm here for, to make people happy, to make people share great emotions about our brand, about the moment we have together, and to enjoy a beautiful watch and product. Obviously, it's not more complicated than that. So don't forget, we are building a new manufacturer here, which will more than double the size of our capacity here in Switzerland. And this new facility will not only be to improve our manufacturing, not only to improve the quality, the finishing, and everything we already discussed, but it's going to be very client experience oriented. And I promise you that when you visit our manufacturer, you will see something that you cannot see in any other watch brand in the whole world. So I'm waiting for you in a bit more than a year to enjoy this place where you're going to have so much fun.
Just all the mics have been dropped. Julien, thank you so much, man. Like, this was not
my pleasure,
not
always.
Planned. We were here to shoot watches. You put out the invitation and you delivered, my man. Jesus. Has that shifted you? I can't really put into words any better than what Julien's just said. So again, I thank you. Get in the comments. Tell us how this video impacted you like it did me. I'm ready to do a workout now, man. I'm pumped up. Let's go.
Take care of you. Take care of you. That's
now,
the most important.
You know that Marcus and I are now going to go downstairs into this wonderland. And I'm going to say Julien said I could look at everything.
Please, please. Put pressure on them.
I will. See you on the next video. Thanks
Bye-bye.
for watching. Bye.
Ciao.